Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen. Today, amongst other things, we're going to talk about City's upcoming game at Chelsea on Sunday. But please do like and subscribe. It's been a good week as far as City are concerned, in my view. Started off by hammering Liverpool in the quarter-final of the Cup, then getting Southampton, which looks like um, a good draw. Although they did hammer Wrexham the other day, but that should be a win for us and make it four FA Cup finals on the trot. But yeah, the game against Liverpool, Haaland hat trick, Semenyo and Cherki were excellent. I mean, that thing about Cherki wearing Ekatiké's shirt whilst on the bench. Now, not a great look, is it? But I don't think it needed all the belly aching that it got from places like the Athletic and ESPN and all the rest of it. But yeah, a great win. Kuznov also excellent, who looks like he's getting a new contract as per, I think it was City Extra on Blue Sky. But yeah, all things are looking good. But just on Liverpool, I'll just touch on that. They obviously got hammered off us and got turned over off PSG during the week. And Arne Slot is under pressure. They're all ringing in talk sports, saying, get him out now, get Steven Gerrard in. Steven Gerrard. I mean, what planet do these people live on? What planet do these people live on? But bear with me, because I'm not Arne Slot's biggest fan. Right? I think he's never bellend, and I said last season he had a bit of a whiff of Pellegrini about him in terms of the handle turner in his first year, and then it'll all come apart shortly after. But I think there is some mitigation for Arne Slot, and I'll start with the obvious one. Diego Jota passing away during the summer. Now that has to have an effect, presumably a very negative effect on the dressing and the club as a whole. So that's that's a tough thing to deal with for a manager. But then they went mad in the transfer market, didn't they? But they went mad. Alexander Arnold went, so they got uh, Frimpong, Kirkes, Wirtz, who looks wholly unsuited to being a Premier League player at this stage. They bought Akatike, seemingly because Newcastle wanted him, but he hit the ground running, so that's fine. But then they still let this Isaac thing go on and on and on, and rightly or wrongly, they bought him. But he came late, he wasn't fixed, he'd had no pre-season, and they didn't really know where to play him. And then when he eventually did get fit, he then broke his leg. Right, so there's your £100 million, £120 centre forward leg break. The Italian centre back they bought did his ACL in, and the first choice keeper Allison, where's he at the moment? So there's some mitigation from a some transfer and recruitment perspective, which I think Arne Slot could point to. Now he'll have some input on those sides, but I don't think he'll. I think the club bought those players in, particularly the £100 million one. But then in the summer they gave Mo his dough, didn't they? Banners everywhere this time 12 months ago. Give Mo his dough. And they gave Mo his dough. And Mo and his dough fell off a cliff. So they're essentially spending you know, a star player money, £20 million a season, on a squad player. A squad player who they're now letting go halfway through his new contract, which won't be cheap. So, you know, the fans wanted that, and it would be difficult to let your leading scorer and player of the season walk out the door for nothing. But City did with De Bruyne, and I said at the time I thought that would be the best move for them. And they gave Van Dijk a big bag of money as well, and he's not far behind from a performance perspective either. So I don't know where they go, but I certainly don't think they'll go the Steven Gerrard route. And with all that mitigation, I do think if Slot does get them Champions League, then he will stay for next season. Whether he'll stay on next season, I don't know. But I think he will. I think he will stay on if they get Champions League, which goes down to fifth. So they probably should. But the executives must be under pressure. These gurus that they have. Because every big decision they make over the past 12 months has been wrong. Every one. Van Dijk, yeah, probably wrong, but you can argue it. Mo Salah admitted wrong, but letting him go halfway through the deal. Wirtz 100+ million, rubbish. Kirkes, rubbish. Frimpong, rubbish. I mean, they might improve, but they've got a lot of explanations here, haven't they? Well, they would if they're spending my money anyway. But leave them to it. As for the game against Liverpool, after it, Pep Lijnders, I don't know about breaking the news. I think it was with an open secret, wasn't it, about Bernardo League. Will he get a statue? Won't it? I'm not interested in having those type of discussions about whether he wants statues or not. But he's certainly a City legend as far as I'm concerned. Been here 9 years, excellent for the most part. And if you look at the Trevor, he was key to both from a sort of personality, tactical perspective, but also delivery. Yeah, scored against Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals, scored a header, scored 2 against Real Madrid at home in the semi, and set up the goal in the final, albeit by a deflection against Inter Milan. So for that alone, that's legend status. But I think this season as well, he's been excellent. If he gets booked on Sunday, he misses the Arsenal game. I don't think he'll get booked against Chelsea. I think he knows where the line is. Hopefully he does anyway. But where will he go? Where will he go? Free transfer. So there's going to be lots of teams interested. I can't see him going back to Benfica at this stage. He just seems to have too much to offer. So, if you want to go and live in Lisbon, go and live in Lisbon. Yeah, I've been there a few times. Very, very nice place. But I think he's got one other move in him. Another 18 months at some league. I think he'll go to Bayern Munich. I don't know why. I've got a feeling he'll go there. I know he likes the sunshine and all that, but I look at it sometimes. I think the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, easy street by and large. 34 games this season, only one cup competition. Bernardo's not getting any younger. It's a great place to go and play and go and live. And then he heads out to Barcelona. He won't be a first-team player, so maybe he gets out a free transfer. I don't know, but there'll be no shortage of offers for him. So yeah, all the best, Bernardo. And hopefully we can end this season with at least an FA Cup to go along with the League Cup, because be a good way to say goodbye. And just a bit on Rodri before we touch on the match on Sunday. He wrote his comments back a little bit, but come on, you're a bright boy. If you're doing an hour-long interview and you say nothing, but you say a little bit about wanting to go to potentially not close the door on Real Madrid, you've got to know that's the bit they're going to chalk up and run with. You've got to know that. But let's pretend it's all innocent. He didn't mean it, and he was a bit naive. Okay, fair. Doesn't really change the situation, though, does it? He's still got 15 months left in his contract. So City are in a position where he needs to sign a new one. Or be told we expect to see your contract after. We can't sell this summer. But going off a few things you've been reading and listening to, it does seem as though City have offered him something that he might accept, which hopefully he does. Because he's coming back into form now. The running's coming up. If he could get, almost to his best and then sign a new contract, I think that'll give everyone a great lift going into next season, regardless how this season ends. So hopefully signs. Because we could do with it. And just before I go on to the match, actually, there was another thing I wanted to talk to you. This Trafford versus Donnarumma thing. I mean, I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, Trafford saved a penalty against Salah. Yeah, all right. Donnarumma saved a penalty against Real Madrid. What do you want to do? Go around comparing that? Where to start? Okay, with comparison. Well, let's start with CV, shall we? That seems a good enough place to start. Let's start with Trafford CV. Good season with Burnley in the Championship. Good tournament at under 21 level. That's it. Really? Yeah, played well in the League Cup. Great. Tick. Played reasonably well in the FA Cup. Great. Yeah, tick. Right. Then it. And you're suggesting that we should bin off Donnarumma, who's got a CV far too long for me to discuss in this video, and replace it just for the birds. Yeah, Donnarumma might have some faults. We saw against West Ham, he come for that one corner and he missed it and then he scored. But I mean, yes, obviously it's a bad error. But if we're worried about taking one corner against West Ham, we've got other problems further up the pitch. So yeah, I wouldn't blame the result on him. That was a poor error. But he made his fault. But do we not remember Spurs at home with Trafford? Yeah, we all watch that after. So what's the guarantee? There's no guarantee that he plays the next 7 matches. No, he did it again. So no, it's Donnarumma all the way until either Trafford becomes a world beater or Donnarumma falls off a cliff, which I don't see either thing happening in the year and a half, 2 years at least. Having said all that, I would keep Trafford next season. And I know people will be saying it looks like he's going, as it even is reported. I'd tell him tough shit. Sorry, mate. You signed a contract. You're staying. We need you, right? You've been you've won the League Cup. You've been at Wembley in the League Cup. You've got a Wembley in the semi-final, and every chance to be Wembley in the final. And you're playing for City, and you might get a couple of Champions League games as well next season, right? There's no international tournament at the end of next season, so your international career is not affected in any way, unless you count a few tin pot friendlies or these group games. But no, I'll just say sorry. You have to stay, and you can fight for your place. Leave it at that. If he was to get transferred to Newcastle or Tottenham, then I think that says it all, doesn't it? Listen, Bayern Munich coming for fair dues, off you go, mate. But to leave City as a Tottenham, West Ham, or wherever, then I'm not. I don't think that's. I don't think it's like happen. And I would do what? We're saying about 60 looks around me. So no, I'm afraid I'd keep Trafford. That's how I see it. I'm afraid I do not accept in any way that he was given any assurances whatsoever when we bought him from Burnley. No chance. Well, but a guy from Burnley on the city whose state name is doing everything. We've got a keeper from Burnley gone. If Edison goes, you're going to be our number one. No chance. No chance. No chance. So, and we've also seen Ortega. He come in, and Willie Caballero. We've all seen these reserve goalkeepers who look good in League Cup games and FA Cup games, but when they get a run of games in the Premier League at money time, doesn't always go to plan, does it? So no, you can learn off Donnarumma, learn off Pep, and we'll see how it goes. So finally, on to the game against Chelsea. Must win, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as anyone concerned, really. Arsenal got Bournemouth at home, lunchtime on Saturday. I expect boring Arsenal to scrape by Bournemouth. But that doesn't change anything from City perspective, does it? We've got to win every game, and hope Arsenal don't. Well, we win every game, Arsenal can't win because we play. But you take my point. And I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. There's 7 games to go. There's 10 games to go, maybe. We drew against West Ham and Forest. And if we've got those in us in the next 7 games, we can't win the league, I'm afraid. But that's not to say we can't put a marker down for next season. And, it's not. Our record of Chelsea's good. I'll come on to that in a bit. But their fans aren't happy. So it could be an easier place to go than it normally would be. The fans are planning protests next week against United. They're clearly unhappy with the ownership, which I don't blame them, really, given the amount of managers they've gone through, the amount of shit players they've bought, and how they don't seem to be going anywhere. But what is the point of these protests? To force them to sell? I think that's unlikely, isn't it? They bought the club for £2.5 billion with other people's money. Clearly an investment fund. So they'll want a return. But let's pretend they don't. Let's pretend, right, this fan group, get on my nerves, right, we're off. Who's going to sell to? Who's going to sell to? And what is the party going to be buying? The name Chelsea. A limited stadium. A load of shit players on long contracts and a multi-club group that the fans seemingly don't want. And as Spurs have shown, just having the name Chelsea being in London doesn't make you immune from being out of Europe and at the bottom end of the Premier League. So there's no guarantee of recurring revenue from that perspective from any owner. So it's hardly a compelling offer. They need a new stadium. And I just don't see anyone in this climate paying such a toppy price for it. Simon Jordan saying they could be worth 10 billion, 20 billion, whatever it was, if Premflix takes off. Premflix is a fantasy at the moment. And it's a long way off even if it ever does happen, which I have my doubts about. So if they were to sell someone in the Middle East, really? Have you seen the news? Off the table. Another private equity company from America? All right, we're going to the same problems. Or someone like Jim Radcliffe. There aren't many individuals with a spare £3 billion on their hip. Your Jim Radcliffe type, Is he the person you want? Listen, hope if they want to protest, I'm all for fan action. Maybe they can change the direction of the club, but I think a sale is well off the cards. Well off the cards. I'm all for fan action. I was there. Swales out, forward with Franny, and all the rest of it. Didn't work out in the end, but there was a clear objective. And I'm not sure what Chelsea hope to achieve other than making their monster, which they've been entitled to do. But leave them to it. As for their team, Enzo Fernandez is banned for the game, self-imposed ban for hinting or more than hinting that he wants to go to Real Madrid. But his contract doesn't run out until 2032. I'm nearly 50 then. Fucking hell, I'm nearly 50 then. Jesus Christ, I wish I had said that. I might edit that out. But again, I don't know why these players signed on contracts, because you're either going to play really well and you want more money, or someone's going to want you and you can't get out. So I don't understand why they could gave them in the first place. The lumbered with shit players because they give them long contract. Now the good players want to get out. Yeah, what they're going to look for him 80 million quid? They're going to give 80 million quid to Enzo Fernandez. He's all right, isn't he? Oh, sure. They paid well over the top when they got him. So I can't see that sort of money being paid on him. So our record at Stamford Bridge is good. We won 4 of the last 5 Premier League games there, drawn the other. That's as good as it gets against any top 16 or Champions League type team. I think we had a good record against Arsenal 2 years ago. United, good, but they always stuck us with it. So 4 wins and a draw the last 5 is good. And I expect us to do the business here. And my predicted lineup, or hoped lineup, whichever way you want to characterise it. So I've gone for Donnarumma in net. Let's get rid of the adverts. Donnarumma in net. As I made clear about the Donnarumma versus Trafford argument, I don't really think there is one, but I'll go with him in net. I think he can pull us out the shit with important saves at money time. So you're happy with him. Núñez, a right back. I think that's a no-brainer. But it does lead us on to conversations in the summer about who do we buy as a right back. Do we buy an understudy to Núñez, or do we buy like a bona fide right back? I don't know. Or do we move Kuznov across and Gardner back, etc.? I don't know. But I think Kuznov plays on Sunday because he's fucking brilliant, and that's an end of it as far as I'm concerned. He showed that against Liverpool, his recovery pace. I mean, not at all. He slipped, got up, and still managed to get back to block that Salah shot. I mean, not many defenders in the league could do that. So more than happy with him playing. And I was up and down about whether it be Ruben Diaz or Mark Gay. I think Pep will play Ruben Diaz. He hasn't played for a few games. He didn't play against Liverpool, and he didn't play in the cup final because he's injured. So if he's fit, I think he'll play. I'm not sure I'd play with him. I think I'd go with Gay. But it's a toss-up between them both, isn't it, at the moment? Left back, Nico O'Reilly. No ifs, no buts. I don't want to see Norwich anywhere near it. For a game like this. I know we played at Liverpool, but I think in this game, I think we need O'Reilly. Again, his runs against Liverpool, his goals against Arsenal from left back. Superb. Midfield, Rodri and Bernardo picks itself. I feel Bernardo, though, one booking away from missing the Arsenal game. Like I said earlier, I think he knows where the line is. So I think he'll be all right on that front. And those two should be enough to handle whatever it is Chelsea got in the field. Doku, left wing, again, picks himself. I want to see him here. I like him here, near the box, with O'Reilly coming forward. I mean, I don't like him out here. I think he's more effective here. Cherky, again, I've come round to a lot over the last few weeks from my initial assessment. His creativity is something else, isn't it? So get him in. Semenyo, I think the experiment of playing him sort of behind Haaland has hopefully come to an end, to get him on the right wing and Big Earl up front. And I think that should do us, shouldn't it? That should do us. I mean, they're not so much, are they, Chelsea? Beat them every decent team they played, more or less. I know some not so decent teams. yeah, given our record there, given our form over the last two cup games, I think we should be fine. I think we should be fine. I'm going for Chelsea nil, City 3. I'm very, very confident. Uh, yeah, I'm confident. So yeah, please leave your score predictions in the comments below. I think Haaland will score again, and I think we've got too many goals in us not to score multiple goals against this lot. I mean, their goalkeeper, you know, diabolical. The centre halves. Tosin gets a lot of grief from Chelsea fans. I like him because he used to play for us. Really, he's a decent mid-table centre half, and he's not. He's not. He's not. He shouldn't be at the top level. So I think Reece James is probably injured. He usually is, isn't he? So I don't think we've got much to worry about, have we? Well, you've been going actually. Keep time waster. So yeah, no, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with our lineup. I don't really care what their lineup is, and I'm going for a comfortable 3-0 win to keep the pressure on Arsenal before the game next Sunday. So yes, if you made it this far, thank you ever so much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back on Monday for a review of the game and see where our title hopes see if they're still alive. Because if we get beat and Arsenal win, then it's curtains, isn't it? If we win and they win, it's still alive. If they lose, or if they don't win and we do win, well, all bets are off then, aren't they? All bets are off, and we can do it. But can see Bones got Arsenal getting something? Probably not, but he might do. So here's hoping. So yes, thank you very much. Take care and see you soon. Bye bye.